Today we're talking about love and how to not talk about it. Today I ain't not lovin', not talking about it. It being love ain't. Today I am love. I got nothing. But regardless of all that, Ain't Talking About Love achieved honorable mention in the most latest, I've screwed myself up, most recentest round of Patreon Mega Vote-a-thon extravaganza. Thank you, Patreon folks, for your great suggestions and participation in this matter. And speaking of Patreon folks, I hope you don't mind if I take just a moment to thank the following people for signing up for the Patreon Supporter of the Cause Club: Julian, T-Bar, and Paul Donahue. Thank you very much for your support. No, it's all bad. And if you would like to find out what that's all about, the link, of course, is in the description. First things first, if you're we got through it. If you're gonna play along with Van Halen, you gotta tune your guitar 1/2 step down. So E is going to become E flat or D sharp. A is going to become A flat or G sharp. D becomes D flat or C sharp. G turns into G flat or F sharp. Your B goes down to B flat or A sharp. And E, just like the other E string, goes down 1/2 step to E flat or D sharp. Congratulations, you're now tuned 1/2 step down. But if you're just going to play it by yourself, you can play it in standard tuning. And now we have to discuss the palm muffle. There are times in this song when we don't want the strings ringing out full throttle. We want to hear the note, but not like the whole thing. More like that. And if you've never done this before, this is kind of tricky to get down the first time, but once you get it once, you'll have it. What you want to do is karate chop your strings right on the bridge, right where the strings meet, the rest of the guitar there. If you're too far this way, we won't hear much at all. If you're too far this way, well, there's no muffle there. So it's a feel thing. Not too hard, not too soft, not too far this way, not too far this way, but grab an A minor chord, for example, and what we want to hear is something like that. We hear the notes, but they just don't ring out forever and ever. Okay, keeping that technique in mind, here's your intro. Grab A minor, and you're gonna pluck, here's the first 4 notes, the A string, the D string, the B string, and the G string, just how they are, palm muffled, of course. A, D, B, G. Then E just how it is. E first fret, so just smush your pointer finger down, because now we're going to pluck the B string and the G string just how they've always been. Then it's E3, B3, total position change here. Big E3, A3, A2, 3. And notice when we get here, we stop muffling. And also notice the wiggle, the bendy wiggle. When dealing with Van Halen, always, whenever remotely possible, execute a wiggle. A bunch of times for your intro. Then when the band kicks in, you're going to hit A minor twice. 2 short ones like that, followed by G. But if we want to be really accurate, you got to sneak in a palm muffled open E string right before the G. Then we're going to do our E3 wiggly A move. For the first thing. The variation on the first thing that we hear, of course, is this, and I failed whammy bar class, so I'm just going to do it like this. B string. 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 8. And if you have that open baby E string ringing out, that's cool too. If you want to sneak that in there. Now, EVH had a delay pedal on his guitar to fill up that section. It was more like chicka-chink, chicka-chink. So go turn on your delay pedal if you want. That's not my inclination. So for your consideration, here's how I'm going to handle this. And I usually tend to get a little bit more rhythmic than perhaps prescribed with my right hand anyways. But here you go. I'm going to hit the bass note, the chord, 2 bass notes, the chord, and then the bass note, and then the G. And you'll find that fills it up quite a bit. Bass, chord, bass, bass, chord, bass, chord. And great news, that's the chorus too, but here's the verse. It's a smaller version of the intro. Grab your A minor chord, and it's the first 4 notes are the same. Now it's E1. You can either do the smush. I'm going to move my fingers. It helps me to do proprioception. E1, G2. So. And then the E3, B3 together. Followed by our wiggly E A string move. Is your verse. Just before 1.5 minutes, we come to our first solo. I hesitated to call it a solo because Van Halen did it and so can we. But rather than show you the exact notes, I'm going to show you the scale in question and you can make it yours. You can even pick out what it really is, but it'll be a great exercise for your earballs. Start on the B string 5th fret, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17. It's the A minor scale, but from E to E. That makes it a mode of A minor. It's called E Phrygian when you start on E and go to E using the A minor scale. So make it yours. Do any of those notes. They're all right. And notice the distinct feel of that scale. And also that I had that baby E string ringing out the whole time. Did something random there using those notes. Totally sounded great. When we encounter the chill verse before the breathe baby section, we're not going to palm mute here, but what you might want to do is turn your volume down like 2/3 and then you don't have to worry about much of anything at all. The first 4 notes are the same, followed by E1, B1. You can abandon your A minor chord there because we're not going to play the strings how they once were. And then E3, B3, G open. And then a very chill 3, 2, 3 on the A string, no wiggling. For the chill verse. Breathe Baby is 2 A minors. Now play it here if you want. But I watched videos and Mr. EVH played it here. You know, your bar chord, 5, 7, 7 across the 5th fret. And the reason is so he could get to his harmonics quicker and make the harmonics yours. You can choose between DGB 5 in any order, DGB 7 in any order, or DGB 12 in any order, or any combination thereof. Do what you want. Last thing there is to talk about is the end, which I suppose makes a lot of sense. It's power chords now, A, so we're not involving the B string. A, the power chord, B, the power chord, B, the power chord, and C, the power chord. See yourself being the power. I'm so sorry, none of that was planned. Power chords, A, B, C, followed by E, open 3, A, 3, 2, A, B, C, then A, B, your low E power chord, open 2, 2 on the fat strings. Then you go again. A, B, C with the, and it ends with the very best chord ever invented by man. Power chords, A, B, and then E7 sharp 9, the Jimi Hendrix chord, A7, D6, G7, B8. That is all I have to say about that. Wow, that's out of my comfort zone. Thank you for making me stretch myself, everybody. And thank you for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.